Most of the people in this society, they experience war and hardship for every level, economy-wise, education-wise, and so on. But don't get lockdown, it took some flashback for PhD for the trauma of the war. And I remember one old lady said to me, I survived 2 to 3 wars and being my husband killed from front of me, but this is the hardest one. And I said, why? She said, I'm getting mad, I'm getting crazy. That is what she used. I'm getting mad because I feel alone. It's nowhere I go. It's just my walls I'm talking to. We are call center connected to each other. Somebody calling me saying, my neighbor, she outside and her husband beating her up. What I do? Somebody saying, I'm breaking down mentally, I don't know what to do. Somebody telling me, and I'm becoming this call center for the breaking down in the society.
It was one of the most harrowing and moving interviews that I did during that first period of research. When we came up on the train from Birmingham, we actually didn't know what was in store for us at all. We got a cab from the station and we arrived at the youth centre that Aisha runs, and Suad had organised a range of incredible women to speak with us. And we saw Suad's Birmingham, you know. So Aisha runs the youth centre, and we also met Fatima, who's a volunteer there, who runs one of the coffee mornings, and we also met Faiza, who runs a community radio show.
And that is this woman what makes me really love what I do, to see them and just they doing amazing things. We are connecting in this link and this together, all of us.
So the way that people have dealt with this dislocation and this trauma is basically to call on people like Aisha, who then call on people like you, who then call on people like Faiza.
Exactly.
By looking back now, I thought we did so many things. At that moment, we didn't realize the amount of things that we're doing. Bear in mind, I'm a mom of 3, have my own kids, and have my own life. But my kids have to cope for me to go out of the house 6 in the morning and come back 8 o'clock at night. They have to cope with that, and they understand why I'm out. Because if they didn't, I didn't get that support, I won't be able to do what I did and support those people.
Aisha, she just calls me up and says, yeah, Fatima, you okay? Yeah, I'm like, yeah, I'm okay. I've got some food here. Do you want to come and pick it up? I've got a box, loads of food. And the kids were so happy. They're like, oh my God. They remembered us, you know?
The support from the government, the NHS, for our community was very limited, very, very limited. It was up to us how we can help our people to pass the messages that the government was giving out. So that's where I come in, where I invite people who are like doctors, nurses, community leaders, variety of people who has the knowledge to support the community and tell them, look, this is the new rule. You need to put face mask. Oh, and why? So people call in. I have asthma, what should I do? I'm struggling that way, what should I do? Just information for the community mainly.
I am the breadwinner of the family, so I have to go to work and make sure everybody else is okay. So that's been really emotional. That's been hard. I'll be just driving one time and I'll just start crying. Out of nowhere, I'm doing it now again. But yeah, it's been really hard.
I don't think I can rest now. I feel like I have a huge responsibility on my shoulder, and I constantly think of how to be able to release a pain from someone or I release a struggle from someone, and for me, I don't think I can rest any time.
You can see that people have been affected by the way they look at you, the way they talk. Well, I'm a volunteer here in the Dream Chasers once a week for the coffee morning for the moms. And the amount of things they talk about. Like this Wednesday, let's just take an example. There's a lady crying, coming to the coffee morning, and she just started crying whilst we were just having a chat about the NHS. And you can see people are having breakdowns.
What austerity did was strip out funding from the local level of government in the UK. And the result were relationships and spaces that had folded or collapsed because they just weren't able to go on in that kind of environment of starvation. We felt this sense of abandonment, you know, that they couldn't rely on the state, that the health service wasn't for them. And so that meant they had to rely on each other. They had to turn inwards. And what was really horrible was that often the mechanisms by which those communities survived, you know, turning inwards on each other, were then further stigmatized as sources of transmission. So we see this kind of dynamic of further isolation and further kind of stigmatization exacerbating existing forms of systemic racism.
There is a systematic discrimination my community really face every day, in every aspect of life. You know, I call my GP and ask I need a support. The answer at the end of the other call is go online and fill up a form. And they don't even know whether I have the access, if I have access to the internet, no question asked. The housing, Birmingham City Council, is really bad when it comes to our community. My people are suffering. No one is taking our voice to the local government. No one's doing that. We don't have councillors. Our community leaders are trying their best to put our problems out there, but no one's listening to us at all.
Crime is going high, but everywhere is closed. Is it oppressing these kids to be at home and to not do anything and expect them to do well in life? So what can we do differently? That's the question.
I think the government has put a lot of blame on us, so much that we are, at the end of the day, taxpayers, and we haven't got anything back. They haven't done anything for us. They've closed down all the most important places. That's something that I wish that would change, that they give more funding to the people that actually, the organizations that actually are helping people.
I don't have my immediate family here. I have people who are my family. And I remember the ambulance incoming and my daughter crying, worrying about me. That is scary. That moment is really scary. I was giving up a lot of time, but they was there for me too. And I was in a hospital. I was not able to talk. But they stayed in the line and say, okay, we're telling you stories and you better not die.
I think that it's really important that we move out of this moment and into a moment of reflection and thinking about what this decade of austerity has done to our local social infrastructures and what injection of funds and support can do to a centre like Aisha's Centre, to a small psychotherapy business like Swad's for communities. I think there's a moment of hope here, but it takes investment in the communities that have gotten us through.